Oh, hello. Happy belated Valentine's Day. So, if you're anything like me, you probably spent a good chunk of your day holed up in your room looking at fan art and reading fan fiction. I had a grand time, thank you very much. About half a year ago, I made a video in which I ranked fan fiction tropes. And since it's the season of love, I wanted to make a video about ship dynamics. And what did I happen to find the other day? A tier ranking list for shipping dynamics. Multiple ones, in fact, with lots of different options. What better way to celebrate a love holiday, right? So I thought I'd gussy up and then rank some shipping dynamics, aka expose myself again. But before we get into it, I just want to give a very special thank you to Ritual for sponsoring this video.
Ritual is a monthly vitamin subscription service that helps you fill key nutrient gaps in your diet. 2 easy-to-take capsules provide 9 nutrients we need on a daily basis. No fillers, colorants, or shady additives, so you know exactly what is going into your body. From D3 to Omega-3, Ritual is incredibly transparent about where they source their ingredients, and they deliver high-quality nutrients for whichever stage of life you're at straight to your door. They're vegan-friendly, sugar-free, non-GMO, gluten-free, and allergen-free. Their capsules are quite frankly one of a kind, combining both dry ingredients and oils in a single capsule. As I get older, I'm becoming more mindful of my health, and I want to put more effort into maintaining it. And honestly, starting as small as taking my daily multivitamin can jumpstart good habits, put me on the right path for the day, and end up having a big impact in the future. If you would like to take a step towards better health, Ritual is offering you all 10% off your first 3 months. Use my link in the description and the code COLEY10 for this awesome deal.
Thank you very much again to Ritual for sponsoring this video, and without further ado, let's get started.
Round 1, fight!
Man, this video feels so bougie. Here is our first list. Oh, here we go. We've got God tier, we've got good tier, we've got not bad tier, not for me tier, and this ain't it tier. Okay, so off the bat, I'm gonna put height difference in God tier. I don't know what it is, but seeing that gap between their heads is just, it ignites something in me. It's like visceral and feral. 90% of the time, I'm pouncing on that. Idiots in Love, I would say, is also God tier. It is simultaneously so amusing and so frustrating trying to see 2 oblivious people trying to navigate and reconcile the fact that they have feelings for each other. And when they finally get together, it's like that meme where it's like,
I may be an idiot, but I'm an idiot.
there's always an excess of pining and an absence of brain cells. Star-crossed lovers. My god, okay, I'm torn. I'm trying to think of like all of the fics I've read where like there was a star-crossed lovers thing happening, and it has the potential to be really cliche, but when it's done well, it's so good. Okay, you know what? No, screw it. I'm putting it in God tier. It's that inner turmoil, that forbidden fruit of we shouldn't be doing this, but yet they do it anyway. They fall in love against all laws and against the world, and more often than not, it ends in tragedy, but when it has a happy ending, it's just so satisfying. Mutual pining, easy God tier. Anything with pining is an instant yes. Just friends being pals. I am going to put you... I'll put you in good tier. I'm assuming this refers to when friends are totally platonic, are thrown into some situations where they realize, oh, this might not be platonic, huh? I adore the friends to lovers trope, so... Criminal and cop, I don't hate it, but like I don't like it that much either, so I'm just gonna put it in the not for me. Like, I'm not opposed to reading it if it's like, you know, calling to me, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to read a criminal cop fic. It's just not my thing. Same thing with tired and concerned caretaker. It can be really cute, especially for like hurt comfort, but I'm not the biggest fan of that whole... I just prefer the 2 parties spoiling each other, you know? Like, hey babe, I got you this giant teddy bear, and oh thanks babe, here's a giant plate of chocolate strawberries. And it's like, oh yeah bro, well I got you a all expenses paid spa trip. Spa trip? Do you mean ski extravaganza this Christmas? Falling in love in the middle of a war. Like, are they both combatants? Is one a civilian and one a combatant? Are they both civilians? Because the dynamics change with each of those configurations. I would say in general, though, I like it. God, I suddenly am thinking of like an AU where, I don't know, a general store owner and then like a cafe owner are both stuck with ration ingredients, and they're making it work, and as they make it work, they fall in love in the middle of the war. Oh, that is adorable. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh. Okay, I need a drink before I do this one. So, I know this is gonna garner some judgment, but, it's Valentine's Day. I'm gonna treat y'all to my inner sanctum. Baba boy. Please be nice to me. I don't know. I'm a deprived feral little gremlin, guys. Sorry. Okay, but I've been playing a lot of Genshin, right? And Tartagula has this wonderful transformation, the Foul Legacy transformation, and never before have I felt so like, sir. Like when you're fighting him when he's in that form, it will f you up. But it can also Yeah, I'll go to kink shame jail. Yandere's, I could see why people would like it, and I could see, okay, well, if it's done this way, then it could be interesting. But personally, I'm not a big yandere person. It's just not my thing. I see it going way more poorly than I can see it going well. Meeting years later. Holy heck, God tier. It's the fact that they knew each other at a certain point of time before, and maybe they changed a lot over the years, or they didn't change at all, and then coming back, it's a new bond, relationship, feelings, whatever, built upon that prior foundation. It's like, okay, I knew you, but now I know you. And if you want to make it juicy, then you can have one of them be engaged to be married or something, or they're in town for a really important business meeting, and then who's catering the event, or who do they run into onto the street, or who's at the conference with them. Superhero and supervillain, I do like a lot, but I don't know. You know what, I'll put it in good tier. I find it delectable when one of the parties is not telling the other that they're the hero or they're the villain. So they're fighting their partner on the job, but once they get home, it's like, oh man, you nearly took my eye out the other day. And when the other person finds out, both parties being oblivious to each other is also really good, but if they know that the other's the hero or the villain, I don't find it as intriguing. Like, I need to have that secret revealed at some point in the story. Otherwise, it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess there's like the tension between the two and like, ooh, we're enemies, but actually lovers. But I need that reveal. I live for that reveal. On the same wavelength, I do enjoy villain couple as well. What's better than one edgy chaos maker than two? Having a moment where like one of them is robbing a museum and then the other one comes into the ceiling like, wait, I thought you were robbing the other museum. It's like, nope, it's this one. It's like, oh, are we robbing the same museum then? Cool. And then as they're on their way out with the cops on the way, one of them's like, hey, we forgot the priceless jewels from the Western European exhibit. And the other one looks at them and is like, God, I love you. My brain instantly went to Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. Oh my God. Nerd and jock, I'll put in the not bad tier. It has the potential to be really cute, but also it's like, I like it, but not like that much. I watched the movie She's All of That a lot growing up because my mom loves it, and that dynamic between Freddie Prinze Jr. and Lainey, he brings her more out of her shell, and then she shows him how to be more true to himself and genuine. Okay, Rivals is going in God tier. You got Clance, you got Zutara, you got Galileo. It's that friction giving way to, there's something there. Red and Blue, bickering, banter, acknowledgement, pining, and it can differ from enemies to lovers in that rivals can be on the same team, and so they have to cooperate while competing against each other. And if they get together, then that rivalry doesn't necessarily have to disappear, does it? I mean, there's a reason why with any popular piece of media, if there's rivals, they're gonna be shipped. Heck, go back to the 70s with Kirk and Spock. I think it goes without saying that some of the most popular ships of our time consist of rivals.
They hate each other, but they also f*** each other.
Old married couple, I'm gonna go ahead and put into not bad tier because it can be very like precious seeing like the domestic moments play out, but at the same time, it can also be kind of boring. It's a really good dynamic for side ships, I think, because while the main ship could be getting together and working everything out with each other, the side ship could be already established and be that old married couple. Crime fighting duo. I'll put it in not bad as well. It's not as intriguing for me as superhero and supervillain and villain couple, just because It feels a little too goody-goody. Like there's not enough grit or chaotic energy. I need something a little more real. But if you can make it interesting, then count me in. Loner x Popular overlaps a lot with Nerd and Jock, and pretty much everything I said about Nerd and Jock could apply to Loner and Popular, but I'm trying to think of it as a Venn diagram right now. I'm trying to think about the differences. Because it's quite often akin to Nerd and Jock, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the not bad tier, but thinking about the different variations you could do for Nerd and Jock makes me consider moving up Nerd and Jock into the good tier. Because I'm just imagining like a really happy-go-lucky nerd who's like super extroverted and they like are friendly with everybody and they're with their nerd friends and they're like having a blast and being super loud. And then you have a jock who's maybe like, you know, the star quarterback or whatever, but he's actually really shy and really introverted. So like after practice, he'll be shuffling his feet and like going home, and then the nerd bumps into him and he's like, hey, do you want to go to my D&D session? And so the jock opens up because of the nerd. That is adorable. Royalty and Peasant is classic fairy tale. It's like Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast. And if you put a modern spin on it, you basically have every K-drama ever. I enjoy it. I like it. So I suppose I will put it in the good tier. My only reservations for this dynamic is that it's very overdone. Like I've seen a lot of worthy adaptations of it, like Hallmark, for instance, but it's just too darn cute to put anywhere else. Coworkers is fun. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the not bad tier because usually it has to have something more other than just, you know, coworkers. If they're coworkers with a rivalry or they're coworkers with mutual pining going on, then that's great. But if it's just coworkers on its own, then it's kind of bland. Student and professor. With this dynamic, I prefer more of like a student mentor sort of thing, or like, you know, maybe student TA or something. So off the bat, I'm going to nix the old man professor and naive innocent student image, and I'm instead going to conjure up a hot new professor that just came to the university. Maybe they just got their PhD. They're like in their late 20s, early 30s, learned, knowledgeable. And then we have the student who's like 22 that's in their class, and then they see this professor and they're like, either they're way too eager to go to office hours or they're way too scared. Generally, student and professor can throw a lot of people off, and I don't blame them. But taking that scenario I imagined into the account and all the K-dramas that utilize this trope very well, I'm gonna put it into not bad. I usually won't go for this sort of dynamic, but if it's good, it's good. Angel X Demon, you can get a lot out of Angel X Demon. I'm putting that in good. It's not my dynamic of choice, but if there's like an AU where like one of the characters is an angel and one is a demon, then Tsunderes, I'm not a fan of tsunderes. They get really annoying. And like, it's sad because I know a lot of people like relate to that. Like, oh, I can't show my emotions very well, so I take it out with annoyance or anger, and that's how I show my love. But as a very earnest, heart on my sleeve sort of person, I can't deal with tsunderes or read about tsunderes for too long. It's just too frustrating for me personally. It's like, you fool! Reckless and playing it safe. I don't ship a lot of ships that fall under that category. Unless I come up with a ship that, you know, like, oh yeah, I love this ship and they have this dynamic, then I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the not for me for now. Dummy Thick and Skinny Legend? I don't have any ships that really fall under that category, so I'm just gonna put that in this ain't it tier. In regards to shipping and polyamory relationships, I'm the type of shipper that it's rare for me to multi-ship a lot because I am selfish. I want one character to be with one other character and like that's it. No sharing. But that being said, if you enjoy OT3s, OT4s, OT5s, then good on you. Now these guys, I've been saving these guys for last because I don't know. I love both these dynamics, but I don't know if I love them or if I love them. Like with polar opposites, it's great when they can make it work, and aesthetically but if they're too different, then there's a little voice in the back of my head saying, then why are you two together? And then with Angry and Sunshine, it's adorable when the Sunshine character is like, you know, being their happy self, and then Angry is like begrudgingly like, oh my, I love them so much. But at the same time, I don't like constantly angry characters. And so if Sunshine's giving their all and being like a precious shining beacon, and then Angry's like grumbling and being grouchy, then what's the point? I want like lovey-dovey complete adoration of each other. And with these two dynamics, if each of the parties can show that adoration in their own way and their partner gets it, it's beautiful. But if it's that same sort of grating dissonance that makes me wonder why they're together in the first place, then... So I think that with all the potential these guys have and all the good that can come out of them, I'm gonna put them in good tier. But because I can get annoyed or frustrated by a lot of the interactions that may come up, then it's stopping me from putting it in God tier. So yeah, that's my ranking. As you can see, I'm pretty flexible when it comes to dynamics. There's only a few that I don't really like. I did see other lists with other dynamics though, so I'm gonna check those out.
Round 2. Fight.
Wait, okay, I found a really cute one. Oh man, some of these are okay, I'm gonna go a little faster with this one, and I'm not gonna explain every single one, but I'll talk about the ones that really make me just joking flirting that turns into real flirting. I love this one. It's like, hey, you're cute, want a date? Haha, no, just kidding, I'd never date you. Unless. Would literally die for them, and that's not necessary. I love that one too. Obviously, soulmates, hell yeah. Never stop showing off. I'm so weak for that. It's like, hey, I love this person so much. Look at them. Look at them. It's that pride, man. Struggling to communicate feelings. Oh my, it's like Han Leia. It is literally Han Leia. I identify as more unsexual. Yes. This is Boku Aka to a T. Impulsive proposals are so great too. Oh, some of these are so easy. Other ones I'm like debating in my head already. Doesn't even have to say I love you. Okay, well, I do want them to say I love you to each other at some point in a fic if I'm reading it. But it's the fact that they love each other so much that they don't even need to say it. You know what? Yeah, that's God tier. That's God tier. Pull your loved ones. That kind of falls into like the tsundere category. But if it's like playful ribbing and it's like, oh, they're both but they love each other, I'll put it in the not bad. Massively in love and oblivious dumbass, yes! Unintentionally caught and suffering because of it, yes! Patching up wounds and calling them an idiot. Yes. No one asked the question, but they both know they're basically, yeah. Madly in love and not happy about it. It's like, God damn it, I love this person. Lavinga. Can't stop flirting with each other. It's cute, but also, I do want a little more, so I'll put it in good. First Loves is also good. It's very precious, and it's even better when like they're first loves, but break up or take a break for a bit, and then they come back, and they still have those feelings for each other. But First Loves by itself, it needs a little more pizzazz if I were to put it in God tier, but it's still so good. Ugh, I guess I'll marry you. God tier. Runaway Lovers, depends on the execution. I will put it in not bad because I am kind of sick of really bad runaway lover fics. Constantly apologizing for the other. If it's endearing, then yes, but I don't know, I get weird vibes from that, so I'm gonna put it in not my thing. Patching up wounds and being very gentle about it. Da-da! List number 2, done. Should I do one more of these? Let's do one more.
Final round. Fight.
I found you,
Faker.
Okay, wait, I want to change this label real quick. You were trash and shouldn't exist, because that is a little too negative for me. Nerd and himbo, I'm putting in high-pitched noise because I am tempted to make a high-pitched noise right now. Jerks who love each other. That one screams Saku Atsu for me, so I'll put that in high-pitched noise. Tired and feral is comedy incarnate. I'm gonna put that also in high-pitched noise. Emo and himbo is hilarious too. Just imagining like an emo person bring in like their himbo partner to like Hot Topic or something. The himbo is just having the time of their life going bananas in this new store, and the emo person is just so proud. Himbo and himbo is hilarious. It's like maybe one brain cell rattling around between the two of them, and it's just the love they share for each other. I think of Time Skip Kagehina with this dynamic. Nerd x nerd is precious. I'm just picturing a couple of nerds playing board games and D&D together, and they're freaking out about their favorite shows and comic books and manga and movies. And good, but not that good. It's fun, but also tiresome if used too much. Chaotic dumbasses. How could I not put that in high-pitched noise? Flirty and flustered is adorable. My guilty pleasure. It's like two people that experience so many of their first together. First day of school, first detention, first scraped knee, first Christmas, growing up together, and then that slow shift in their dynamic from just childhood friends to, you know, older friends to, oh no. A lot of my favorite ships fall under this category, like Iwa Oi or Kuroken. Flirty and flirty, it feels like reverse Uno cards just infinitely. It's funny if anything, so I'll put it in good but not that good. Smug mofo and depressed mofo. This feels like a buddy cop sort of thing. I'll put it in I like the view. And finally, flirty and oblivious. This one has potential. I'll put it in high-pitched noise. Whew. Okay, I think I'm done with rankings. If you stuck around this long, then thank you so much for joining me on my grand shipping dynamic ranking journey. I will put all the lists I used in this video in the description in case you want to try them as well. If you end up doing them, then share them with me on Twitter. I'm curious. I wish you all a very happy love month, and I'll see you in my next video. I'm gonna go stuff my face with chocolate-covered strawberries now. Okay, bye!